This is an oracle. Welcome to Bible on the Go with Dr. Dan and our monthly overview of Bible books. And this time it's the 39th book in the Old Testament. And it's the end of the Old Testament. And it's interesting how it starts. It starts with this statement in the CSB, this is an oracle. Well, we know an oracle is a word from the Lord. But if you look in other translations like NIV, it says, this is a prophecy. Either way, it's a word from the Lord. So who is this Malachi? Well, he's a post-exilic prophet. Now, I just said exilic. Remember, the exile of the northern kingdom of Israel was in 722 by the aggressor nation, Assyria. And then the exile of the southern kingdom of Judah was in 586 under the Babylonians. And then 70 years later, in fulfillment of Jeremiah's prophecy, they returned under Nehemiah and Ezra around about 517. Malachi is the last of the prophets, and he is upset. He has a few things he's not happy about, but he's speaking for the Lord, so we can fairly say that the Lord's not happy about it. The simple fact is the behavior of God's people is really, really bad. And it's understandable if you think about it. What do you normally hear referenced in Malachi? It's Malachi chapter 3, verse 10. Bring all the tithes into the storehouse and prove me now herewith if I will not pour out a blessing. You can't test me in this and see if I will not pour out a blessing you can't contain. Oh, yeah, we love to preach on tithing out of Malachi 3:10. You know why? Because all the other stuff is like, oh, man, you have really messed up. And so, hey, and then there's, of course, my favorite verse, which is coming up. But the book of Malachi is really in two parts. The first one being all of the problems of the people of God, Israel's unfaithfulness, from chapter 1, verse 6 to chapter 2, verse 16. And even so far as the short book that it is, these parts are very distinctive. And the second major part is the day of the Lord is coming. Well, in the first part, he's unhappy with the changing ethics of God's people who are casting doubt, for example, on God's promises and offering unacceptable sacrifices. He asks them really hard questions, rhetorical questions, like in chapter 2, verse 17. You have wearied the Lord with your words, yet you ask, how have we wearied him? And then his answer, when you say, everyone who does what is evil is good in the Lord's sight, and he is delighted with them. Oh my goodness. So the topics are very aggressive and very harsh. Here's another example, chapter 3, verses 7 through 18, stealing from God, right? So there's a lot in here that you're like, how can I make use of it? Well, the good thing about it is it's clearly communicated that what the people of God have done is actually turn their hearts against the Lord, and therefore the Lord can't bless them, and he's going to judge them unless they repent. And then, of course, the last part of it, the day of the Lord section, we'll call it, is all prophecies about our future that is so far future into, for example, the book of Revelation. And which brings us to my favorite verse. And here it is. It's in the day of the Lord passage in Malachi 4:3. But for you who fear my name, the Son of Righteousness will rise with healing in his wings, and you will go out and playfully jump like calves from the stall. As dark as things get, if the people of God repent, so much good is coming in the future. Thanks for watching Bible on the Go with Dr. Dan. If you like these videos, one of the most helpful things you can do is subscribe. I really appreciate those of you who share the videos and watch the videos. I appreciate it very much. Praise God.